So hello guys, it's the boy Kenny, and I promised you guys I was going to give you a complete breakdown of how I was able to make my Guinness ad. So first of all, I input the song, which then sorry, I had to bring in a media clip first, which was this fiery background stuff. I actually used this before. If I reduce the opacity of this, you get to see my original clip. You can see that, but because I don't think it's actually giving what I wanted, I wanted to delete it and input the fiery clip, but I just decided not to. Like, since there was no need to actually disrupt the video, I'd actually finished the video before thinking about it, so I decided, okay, let me just input this as a layer. Is going to get to cover the other clip actually. So yeah, so I use this, then I input my letters. I had to cut them off as short stamps. As you can see, they are really fast. If I bring them really slow, you get to see how small and tiny they are. So that shows you that they're really fast. And but if I play this, you can see how fast they are. So I had to get ready for the best taste Guinness can offer. Then after doing that, I had to add, I guess, about 14 tiles of pictures. You can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 40 tiles of pictures. And these were just random pictures I took, so I just had to add them, to add that flavor. And prior to doing this, I had already changed my settings for each picture. Each picture had to last for about, I don't know how many seconds or milliseconds this is, but you can see that shows that they are really fast. So after doing this, did I add any overlays or anything? No. Then I came over to adding this cup. So as you can see, I had to cut it here because I felt like the video was not going to start from where I wanted to start. I didn't want to disrupt lots of things. But when you're doing this, always experiment. Do your experiments before you continue with your video. Keep on telling people this. Please do your experiment before you continue with your video. So now I had to go in here, because the video was just showing bland. Let me show you what I did here. The saturation was full, you understand? And when I was playing this, I wanted it to start with the overlay, but this was showing and I didn't like that. So I decided to, I wanted to just black it out completely, but I said, why not just give it a different taste? It will feel original, it will feel kind of, effecty, and also I decided to just reduce saturation and make it plain black and white. Understand? So then I came over to my original video. So I added an overlay of fire and brimstone. If I reduce this here, I'm going to get to see my original video. I just added an overlay. This is my original video. Then with this, you get to see, you can see this. But if I reduce this, you get to see my original video. Reduce this, original video. Reduce this, original video. So I used hard lights here. If you go here, blend mode, I used hard lights. You could check others. You could use overlay. Overlay would have been cool too. But no, I had to use sorry. But I used hard lights because it gave me what I wanted and all. You understand? I wanted it to be that fiery, like explosion. Like Guinness is a cup of explosion. As you can see, it starts like an explosion, so it just goes slowly, and slowly you get to actually visualize. You get to actually see the glass of beer, although it's not that visible, but you just have the feel, like it just creates a certain vibe in you while watching this, so then I had to continue with my Guinness. So I imported a Guinness bottle where it was spinning, and to make everything, because actually all of them were shot in 16 ratio, and I had to go over here, and set up use the pan and zoom, to make it appropriate according to scale. So this is what I did. Then I hit OK. Then you could just basically see what I did here. I also used the same fiery one, but in this I had to reduce the opacity to around 80, because I didn't want it to be too much, because it being too much actually made it seem like it just felt too much. So I just reduced it to around 80. 80 looked subtle, kind of, and okay. Yes, so you can see. Then I had to, for the next file, I had to add a tile. You can see this transition effects, picture-in-picture video tiles. You could use color tiles, you could use any of them. Understand? But I used video tiles. Depends on what you want to do, you understand? So step by step. So then the main video, after the transition, it came over and I had my overlay of fast trail. You can see this cup. So let's go over here. You can see I actually did the same thing, to make it bigger and all. Then I had an overlay here. If we reduce this, you get to see regular cup, but I had an overlay here. So adjustment. I had to adjust this though, because the original color is actually blue. As you can see, I increased the temperature, so this is the original color. But I wanted it to have, Guinness is kind of yellow. Guinness, as the label, has yellows and blacks. So everything in this video, I just had to have that yellow feel. So I increased the temperature to around, so that it will have that yellowy feel. You understand? So that was about it. And I got, then I had to bring in my fiery background again, because I wanted to use it for text now. So bold as can be, and they are really fast here too, honestly. So you can see really fast. Then this was one of my favorite shots. Let's look into this. I had to slowly zoom in. You can see the start and the end position. This is the start position, this is the end position. And I like this shot so much because it's so, I'm going to get to capture this. It's just so cute, you understand? And you can see that it slowly zooms in till we reach the final product, and the overlay doing its job there, making it look sick. You can see. So let's start. So which overlay did I use? My regular fire. Really sorry, I've overused that. Sorry. You can see it's just the regular overlay. I remember how to add overlays. You just go over here, choose anyone, or layers, a new layer. Then I added this. Exactly same process, same procedure, and gives you same effects. I'm just going to undo this though. So which blend mode did I use? I used overlay for this. I would have used anyone that can maybe lighten. hard lights, soft lights, multiply. Multiply seems really good. But overlay was just the best for me because it actually depicted what I was going for. Like, it just gave me what I wanted, honestly. So like I keep on saying, your creative side should be your guide whenever you're doing stuff like this. You should know the rudimentary knowledge. You should have the rudimentary knowledge, but your creative side should always guide you in whatever you're doing, especially making videos, editing pictures. Honestly. So this is what I basically did. Any other layer? There was no other layer here. So sorry if I've been mentioning overlay too much. Apart from blend modes or blending, that means I've actually meant layers. You understand? So that's what I did here. Then okay, that's basically what I did here. Then for this, I had a video where, so this is the original position, but I'm going to go back to how it was before. So I had to, set it, to fit the aspect ratio. It seems like this overlay would have actually done a good job. So let me add something here. I want to cut this. Sorry. So what I'm going to do, duplicate. Okay, sorry. So basically what I did over here, I just, this is a video of a spinning bottle. But it's not showing that because my phone is hanging. I'm useless, the RAM of this phone, honestly. Playback quality is really annoying me right now, but basically, as you can see, slowly it was actually, rotating. Sorry. Then I just had to add, you can see that. Then I just added an overlay, added a layer of fiery, sparks everywhere. So if I reduce this, you get to see the actual video. This is just the actual video. But putting this back, it just adds depth. Just adds that motion you need, that loving motion you need in a video like this. So I use screen for this. When it comes to stuff like this, you just want only the sparks or the fire to show. Understand? You can use screen and lighting. They are the two most trusted. But if you want maybe the fire to be a part of the bottle, a part of the, you could just add overlay or multiply or screen. You use add light too, but screen and lighting, best bets. So you guys can understand. So okay, that's what I did there. Same for here too. But in this video, for this, I had to, zoom in like the previous one with the Guinness label. I had to zoom in slowly. I made it, using the pan and zoom, I was able to make it to slowly zoom into, I guess, where was the end? Yeah, just a slow zoom in. Nothing really much. That was about it. Then I added a layer of fire sparks, with a blend mode of guess which of them. Okay, guys, are actually seeing it. Screen, exactly like the previous one. So I want you guys to know, If I reduce this, see nothing here, so that's just basically it. Then I added the cloud of pictures of about 6 pictures. You can just see that. So let's play this. Then I brought in my video where I was, pouring my glass of pouring the Guinness into a glass cup. You can see 0.6 times, so I had to make it a little bit slow. Then I added a layer of sharpening from my effects tab, because the video is kind of dull. If I reduce this, you get to see that's okay. I actually put it on 4. If I increase this, you can see how sharp it could go. Understand? But I don't really want it to be that sharp, so I just made it like 4 or 5. Okay. So that's what I did. I did it over here. Then you can see I increased it, and I decreased the speed more. So instead of 0.6 over here, as you can see, we have, when I increase the tab, because I want you guys to actually see the slow motion. And actually all my videos, I shot them 60 frames per second, so that I can get a really good slow-mo edit without making it look choppy. I don't like choppy slow motion, so I had to shoot all of them at 60 frames per second. So that's why you can see the slow-mo over here is really smooth. Then for this, while doing this, I added a layer called dimensional mirrors. So dimensional mirrors it's similar to kaleidoscope. Understand? Just creates mirrors, like multiple dimensions of the subject or the object in place. So that's what it does basically. And I just added it for a little while. Then went over to the next video, added it for a little while. This is just like a continuation of where I'm pouring the beer. Then that was about it. No much editing, adjustments, regular adjustments. I increase the contrast, because when I do not increase the contrast, you get to see the background for what it is. As you can see those blacks, and you can see that the background wasn't actually, but increasing the contrast actually makes it seem studio-like. So that's why I did that. So in case you guys have that in mind, have that question in mind. So I went over to the next clip, but we added a transition here, picture-in-picture color tiles. I keep on telling you guys, use any of them, but all the transitions in here, honestly, are actually trash. You could get more, and I'll advise you to get more if you could get more. But honestly, most of them are just like really gimmicky. This was just what I could manage at the time. You understand? So, and now we'll go over to the next video. Nothing much here. Just a slow-mo video. A layer of sharpening was added, to make it sharper. Let's reduce the sharpening so you can see how it originally looks. It looks kind of dull, so I just added a layer of sharpening. Okay. Then another picture clog of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures. And this kind of leads you, tells you, okay, the next clip is going to be about the glass cup, no more about the bottle. So you can see it just shows you about the glass cup, then leads you straight up. So now I like this shot a whole lot, because while doing this, it was just so sick, honestly. So I added a layer of sharpening, and I also added a layer of my fire clip. So if I reduce this, you get to see that no biggie, still the same, increase this. Well, you can see that I added a layer here. And which blend mode did I use? I want you guys to guess. So if you guessed it right, I'll give you a gift. Yeah, a gift. No, God will give you a gift. God will give you a gift. So I used overlay. So all those who got it, I've gotten a gift from God. So basically, that was what I used. You understand? Because, like I said before, I don't really know how to explain this. I just know how to use this really well. But overlay actually, it kind of becomes a part of the subject. You understand? Other blend modes tend to still utilize the background, still get to understand, but overlay becomes a part of the person. Maybe possibly maybe you're in a situation where you're doing a green screen project and you want the person in place. Maybe the background seems has lots of lights. There are lots of lights at the background, and your subject isn't really lit up, but you want to achieve this. Maybe you don't have any lighting to use and all. Overlay is the best bet. Overlay, then maybe you can add a little bit of screen. Overlay is the best bet to make the subject look kind of lit up. You understand? So that's why I use it. You can check others, see how they look for you. Multiply 2 could be used for this. But you see hard lights, you see others just like use the whole screen. They don't limit the the fire to just the cup, which is what you want. And that is what we get. It's overlay. And if you notice, I also got to. It was a slow zoom in. So from here to here. Okay. So over here too, I had to use guess. All of you should guess, I beg. Yes, there was still an overlay. There was still layer of fire with the overlay tab here. Yes, obviously. But what else did I do to make this turn to this? Exactly. Dimensional mirrors. I had to use dimensional mirrors. And it just gave that extra, beauty. And this just looks so beautiful. Honestly, this just looks like all those knock artist stuff. I'm going to capture this. Nothing can stop me. Okay, so dimensional mirrors, a little bit of sharpening. Understand? Remove. I continued with this dimensional mirrors here too. So the original clip looks like this. You understand? Still with an overlay of fire involved. You understand? And I also had to, a slow zoom in too. So this is what the beginning looks like. This is what the end looks like. Understand? I used 2 trails. So let's increase our dimensional mirror back, shall we? Thank you very much. So after this, I had a small cut where I increased, and as you can see in this, I had to cut this because I wanted to reduce the opacity of the layer, because I felt like it was too much. At 100, 70 was fine, but I really liked 80, how 80 looked. As you can see, it looks really good. So basically all based on preference, nothing really. Then I had a cut here where it was still zooming in, then I had to add a fast trail, just extra effects, nothing really much. Still under the sharpening, still with a layer of sharpening. So I went over to my next video, my next clip. No transitions here. I was over to my next clip. So for this clip, I had to, add this video. I had to use split screen, because basically when I added the first video, it was just there, you understand? But I had to use split screen to kind of place the both of them. As you can see, I use split screen to do this and all. So that's what I basically did. So then I added another layer. Which blend mode did I use? Guess. Yes, you got a screen. I use lighting actually, but I told you could use screen or lighting, any of them. Choice. They actually do the same thing, but in their own unique, different ways. Sometimes lighting can be more aggressive, sometimes screen can be more aggressive. So they are not the same, but they actually do. They are really similar, basically. You understand? I don't want you to think they're the same, but they are really similar. So in cases like this, you can use any of them. So I could even go along and use screen, go along and use lighting, but you can see the slight details. With screen, you still get to see lots of sparks, but look closely. If I put on lighting, some of them disappear. You can see that. So that's just about it. So let's go with screen. I use lighting though, but it doesn't really matter. That's why I showed you this. So we continue. As you can see, then we'll move over to, was there a layer of sharpening? Yes, there's still a layer of sharpening. This is actually a really long layer of sharpening. Wow, a really long layer. It went really far and worked magic though. So now we added media. We added our fiery video, a fiery clip, because now we're going to add text, and now we added text. This wasn't as fast as the previous text, intervals, but it did the job nice. So you can see premium stouts brewed at its finest. Was there any other thing under? No. So now we went over to this. Not for persons under the age of 18. So I had to use two clips for this. First off, you can see this first one. Yes, normal. And I had to put all of them at the exact same timestamp so that they come in together and they leave together. You can see that. So I had to be really precise while doing this. Not for persons under the age of 18. You can see 18 plus. I had to add a circle here. So if I use this, you see it's just 18 plus. If I reduce this, it just be circle. If I reduce this, and I reduce this, you see just enough for persons under the age of 18. So that's about it. I had to be precise about what I'm doing. I didn't really add any animation overall out now or any other thing. I just wanted it to be pure and look professional, and I got that with this. So yeah, this is my last slide. Be bold. So why I like this a lot, because the fire just and as I said before, like in one of my first clips, as you can see that the rotating cup, the rotating glass, adding this as a layer and using hard light for it actually gets to reveal the subject, and it's fascinated me, you understand? So I decided to try this out here too, and it did the same, which was just really fun. Just gave it like a really adventurous feel, a really exciting feel, you understand? So So it's just the layer I added, like my regular layers I add. You can see I used hard lights for this. I'm not going to be asking you guys because I guess you guys should already know. I use hard lights for this, so you can see how it slowly starts to, reveal what is behind the fire. So this is just the regular photo, you understand? It doesn't have any, it's not exciting. It's not just, if I just play this regularly, sorry, let me just, but adding that layer does a lot. You can see it gets to reveal it. Just adds that extra motion that this clip needs. So increase this. So let's slowly go through it and get to. So man, that was how I actually made this video. So let's play this. So yeah, playback quality is really trash right now. So I'm going to go over to my gallery since I've already uploaded, or actually, uploaded the video, downloaded it, whatever. So I'm just going to go. Oh, my phone is about to switch off, man. Go over to my exports so that you guys can see it in full premium quality. So let's go. So it's a wrap for me, guys. Thank you guys for sticking with me through the whole tutorial, and it's a wrap. Understand? So I'm sure you guys understand, or you guys understood. Well, all I did in this video, really easy steps, but your creative side always has to be, really vicious when it comes to stuff like this, because you need to go out there and just take risks in whatever you're doing concerning, your video editing. Don't always be in your zone. Don't be in your comfort zone too much. Just explore. You understand? Experiment different things, and you get to, get really nice and fantastic results. So it's a wrap for me, guys, and goodbye.